my husband got poisoned, and I know one of the 1, 2, 3 y'all did it because SummerSlam coming up in Selena. I know. We all know that you're the brains of this whole operation.
Yes, I am the brains of this situation, but I would never jeopardize an opportunity at SummerSlam. What are you even getting at? Listen, do you really think I'd be stupid enough to...
Well. This is what it took, huh? This is what it took, WWE? What's going on, YouTube? It's Sensei and place to be. Children, Mr. A&E. Back to give you guys another Raw review for August 3rd, 2020. And I'm going to say right off the bat, I enjoyed Raw tonight. I enjoyed Raw tonight, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. Of course, there's some dumb things on Raw, but there's dumb things in wrestling all the time. But however, I'm just like, yo, I need... This Raw was just like, I don't know what they were trying to do. I mean, I know all things are not going to work out that great, and all things ain't created equal here. But first of all, when we started off, Tom Phillips and Samoa Joe and Byron Saxton talking, and then the lights flicker. And I'm like, well, I know they got this Hurricane Isaac coming down. I know Florida's getting hit. I'm up here in Philly, so we get the tropical storm. So, you know, that storm's off the coast and everything. So that's what I'm thinking it is, right? But before I get any deeper to the review, I want to give my apologies right now. I told you I was going back to video-based reviews, but I'm having a little mess-up with my camera right now, and I wanted to get this Raw review out to you guys right now. So, unfortunately, I'm not giving you guys the camera. I'm giving you guys the audio, but I will try to make this review entertaining as possible with just the sound of the voice. So, and once again, I'm going to put the empty chair back up there now, even though we got some of the NXT fans in there. I promise that I'll get this up together, then by SmackDown, I should be back up on the camera and be ready for next week's Raw as well. So, like I said, the lights are flickering, so we come out. MVP is coming out with his United States Championship. Oh, actually, Apollo Crews comes out first. Apollo Crews looks like he's back from the COVID, because no matter what they say, that man had to be sick for all them weeks. So he's back now, feeling good and everything. And then MVP comes out. Like I said, the lights are flickering. I'm just like, whoa, it must be like really storming out there. And but we'll come to find out that does not seem to be the case. We found later on Raw. So we get on with the matchup, MVP versus Apollo Crews for the United States Championship. And right off the bat, the match is actually pretty dope. I enjoyed the matchup too much. MVP doing the work. You got the Hurt Business on the outside, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley out there just standing around the ring and everything. Apollo does a leap over and takes out all of them and takes them down. MVP tries to go for the Haluva kick or the Playmaker boot and misses it. Apollo hits the spin out powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Apollo Crews retains his United States Championship, takes his belt, and then takes MVP's new championship belt. So MVP gets up and he's pissed. Bobby Lashley tried to come in and try to put the full Nelson on Apollo Crews, and it doesn't work. Apollo Crews slips out the way, and MVP is pissed. He goes slam on the announce table. So about, so this the kind of business y'all run? This the kind of what kind of thing is this? He's on the microphone, got the lights flickering, got distracted. Apollo, let me tell you something. You're not the champion. That's my champion. You didn't show up at Extreme Rules because of Bobby Lashley's full Nelson. So that's your fault. And so that's my championship. So I want my rematch at SummerSlam. So SummerSlam is going to be MVP versus Apollo Crews again for the United States Championship. And so they were pissed. They were standing on the announce table, so they want some order around here. And then backstage we see the Iconics have returned. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce have returned. Well, Billy Kay was one that was missing, but she sees Kevin Owens. She says, "Hey, can we be a guest on your show?" And then Kevin Owens says, well, yeah, ladies, I would like to, but I already got a guest on my show. And, you know, I mean, it's chill. We can have one next time. Here, have a water. Even though Kevin Owens was reaching for that water, by the way. Kevin Owens was definitely trying to get that red can. That's all I'm trying to say. We come for the Kevin Owens show, and his guest on the Kevin Owens show is Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott is out here, and, you know, she said that she finally got the win over those Iconics and everything, but it's just, it breaks her down that she couldn't celebrate it with Liv. And, he said, well, hold on now. I have to tell you right now because Liv Morgan is here. So they bring Liv Morgan back. So she's back from the COVID. And she comes down and she says, oh, you want me to come out here and listen to what you have to say? So she had to say. So Ruby Riott did a very good breakdown and emotional thing like, she was hurt. She says, when I came back, things were different. Sarah was gone, you were gone, and then, well, actually, I seen that you beat me twice, and I realized that you didn't need me no more, and Sarah didn't need me no more, and actually she was losing, and everything it was hurt. It failed. She had her friends or anything, and she was really sorry about the way things happened and things turned out and all that stuff like that. So Liv was kind of like rolling eyes at Kevin Owens before even Ruby Riott even said any of this stuff. Kevin Owens says, look, I've done a lot of bad things to a lot of people in my lifetime, and just sometimes you got to just hear them out, and you don't want a friendship like this to end or something. I'm not saying you have to forgive her, but I'm just saying, just at least give the moment to at least hear her out. But then we get iconic, and then they come out, and the Iconics come out and talk about something. Look, hey, we don't care about what's going on because you don't have any friends, blah, blah, blah. And then Liv Morgan says, you're right, we're not friends, and we're not even Iconic, but there's one thing that me and Ruby got in common, and that's nobody knows how to start a riot other than us. And Ruby starts laughing, and then Kevin Owens says, okay, well, you got chances, so can you get out of my ring, please, so I can finish the show. And then Peyton Royce slaps Kevin Owens. He said, was that necessary? Then Billy Kay slaps Kevin Owens. He says, ladies, a little help. So then they tackle down Billy Kay and Peyton Royce, and then we get a tag team match player between Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan against the Iconics with Kevin Owens on commentary. And of course the Riot Squad pick up the win here over the Iconics. So they could be coming back, trying to form a tag team, go after the tag team championships. But right now, Liv still, is not taking everything. Ruby Riott has to prove herself, obviously, when it comes to Liv Morgan. So I'm liking the storyline. I do miss my EST and Ruby Riott because those are my girls together. But I understand she was just a placeholder until Liv gets back. Drew McIntyre comes out and he talks about what Randy Orton did to him and how slimy Randy Orton is. Randy Orton comes out with Ric Flair. Keep that man home. But anyway, he comes out and he talks about something. Look, man, you run your mouth with this and this, and he says, look, yes, if you say I don't want to be in WWE, well, look, then why am I still here? I got everything I've done because I'm Randy Orton, because they keep using the thing like, well, my dad was a Cowboy Bob Orton and I got fired, stuff like that. He said, I want you to name one thing about me, and be original. That he was talking about, you want to challenge me, Randy? And then he brought up things that he said, I talked to people that had to clean the literal shit up behind Randy Orton and what they mean. You don't take time for all the things if you learn from Ric Flair or Triple H and Evolution, stuff like that, to teach any of the younger guys that are below you. You just take the information and you're selfish with it and all things of that nature. So it was a very good kind of like a work shoot promo between the two of them. So the match there was something to put some more heat onto it. Ric Flair's backstage and take this man home and tells Kevin Owens, hey, he's worried about his career, how Kevin Owens has been getting a little soft out there doing the KO show. Like, where is the Owens fight thing? And he says, I appreciate that, but you know what? Tell your boy Randy that be ready for next week. Because he said, oh, yeah, really? Because so next week, we're going to get Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. He's going to show him how he is still KO and he loves to fight and everything like that. So, I mean, I'm cool with that. Nia Jax comes out here to address what was Pat Buck for last week of obviously pushing him down and grabbing his shirt, his suit shirt, and not putting over his head and getting stuck. So now she comes out there and she tries to cut a promo to make it sound like she apologizes, but then she just cuts a promo talking about something. I can't be validated for who I am. I mean, I am who I am. And it's not my fault that you couldn't keep up, saying that you got pushed around by that. So he said, Pat Buck says, look, for the action you were suspended without pay. And Nia just looks at him and just gives him like the headbutt as he stiffs up and falls down as she kicks him out the ring. So Nia Jax is not suspended. This is the new storyline they're going to try to get her with. Maybe this can take her back to OVW and learn some things, even though it's not really much of a thing. Triple threat match now as R-Truth is running and he stole Shelton Benjamin's 24/7 championship. It's a triple threat between R-Truth, Shelton Benjamin, and Akira Tozawa. I know this is a joke title, but it's very rare that we actually have matches for this championship. Kind of like, even though the hardcore championship was 24/7 back when Crash Holly was doing it, they still had serious level matches and hardcore matches that have the in between the 24/7 stuff. They don't ever do that here with this one, but it's a triple threat matchup. And then all of a sudden, a ninja tries to come in and attack Shelton Benjamin, and Shelton Benjamin just kicks the ninja outside the ring, starts beating them up. Then MVP starts attacking ninjas, and then Bobby Lashley, which distracts Shelton Benjamin because he gave R-Truth the pay dirt. And then Akira Tozawa's on the top, giving a top rope senton, beats R-Truth and wins 24/7 championship and runs off. So with that being said, it's just like, Shelton Benjamin lost the 24/7 championship. The Hurt Business is now done. They have no championships now. I said, okay, they're building up to something here tonight because they are pissed off because they lost everything in the championship, and then they were very, very upset. We get some kind of camera footage backstage showing that, like, it looks like some of Kirita's ninjas blew up the generator, so the reason why the lights are flickering, so it looks like a conspiracy has been onto the Hurt Business. Now, was that the ninjas from Akira Tozawa, or was that Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and Mustafa Ali? Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking about. So then we get a thing where it's like, okay, we get Sasha and Bayley coming out and talking about the win. Asuka's obviously pissed of what they did to Kairi Sane last week, and Shayna Baszler actually backstage, Shayna Baszler when Bayley and Sasha was getting talked to, she kind of like slapped Sasha down, so that leads them to a match for now with Sasha Banks versus Shayna Baszler. The match is alright, but it doesn't really go anywhere because Asuka comes down and starts beating up Bayley, which causes a disqualification, and then everybody starts fighting, and then Bayley and Sasha roll outside the ring, and then Shayna Baszler, which kind of throws me off, comes in with a microphone and starts talking to Asuka like, look, I'm gonna let you know I'm on your side for this Raw Women's Championship because I want you to win that championship so I can take it from you. So she wants to face Asuka for that championship. She wants that best, and she wants her to take it off Sasha Banks. Then for some reason her music plays again, and then she comes out and says, I'm the champion, you know what I'm saying, I'm making the calls. So if you can't beat Bayley next week, then you don't get a match again. But if you can, you get a match at SummerSlam. Bayley's looking like, wait, hold up, why you volunteering me? Kind of the same way that Bayley volunteered Sasha all the times before. So next week is going to be Asuka and Bayley, and if Asuka wins, she gets her rematch with Sasha Banks at SummerSlam. So Apollo's backstage, posing with his new championship and how it feels so good. And I like how he said, I'm going to give my kids this old one and I'm going to keep MVP's new one. So that is going to be the new United States Championship, which looks dope when it comes out and I save enough money. I want that championship. And when we finally open things up, we're allowed to see everybody again. I want to meet all these U.S. champions and have them sign it because that belt is dope. That belt is dope. After there's a little flirting backstage with Angel Garza and the new girl from The Bachelor, we get a set of singles matches between Dawkins and Angel Garza and Andrade and Montez Ford. And like I said, the singles matches between Garza and Dawkins doesn't go long. Garza picks up the win over Dawkins. So now we get to Montez Ford and Andrade. They have a little bit better match. I would like to see a good singles match, a long match between them two. I think it'll be a damn good matchup. Montez goes for the huge leap frog over the ropes. Then he does the Ultimate Warrior sprint down, and then he just passes out. Like Shawn Michaels 95 passes out. Like Eddie Guerrero passes out. Everybody's like, what's happening? And then we get to the training room. It comes to find out, Dawkins comes out and said, I don't know, they don't have the thing yet, but he's been poisoned. So, and then they all kind of like laugh it off a little bit, and then Bianca Belair comes out and says, okay, I'm going to know which one of y'all, because I know it was one of y'all, poisoned my husband. And then Selena Vega sitting there talking about something, I don't know what you're talking about. We had nothing to do with it. Why would I want to endanger somebody because we have a match with them and everything? Bianca Belair ain't hearing that. She's taking the earrings off, pops Selena Vega. So they start brawling, but then Angelo Dawkins grabs Bianca Belair and everybody's bringing up the women. So obviously, we're getting Selena Vega versus Bianca Belair next week. I know that's going to happen. They didn't announce it, but I'm letting you know that is probably what's going to be happening. So before we get into the whole Dominic, I did skip over this. We can't skip over this. Shane McMahon returns tonight, and Shane McMahon is debuting something because first of all, there was this big, huge black guy as security outside the door and in these dark, dim hallway. I was like, what is Shane doing now? So Shane has debuted and introduces Raw Underground. So at 10 p.m. So at Raw Underground, there is this underground fight club where these guys sitting there having a mixture of wrestling and like UFC fighting and just brawling out. There's a ring, there's no ropes, there's a crowd around there, and they sitting there with tape and everything, and they just beating everybody, they just fighting everybody up and stuff like that. So we actually throughout the night we see Dolph Ziggler win a fight. We see Ivar win a fight. We even see Babatunde win a fight. And once we get to the end, I'll tell you somebody else who was in there also that people definitely forgot about. Seth Rollins comes out to address what's been going on with Rey Mysterio and Dominic, because Dominic wants Seth Rollins, and he's trying to tell him that you're not ready for Seth Rollins and everything like that. And then he turns attention to Tom Phillips, and he talks to Tom Phillips about how his voice matters and the way you say things. You know what I'm saying? You have been called for a higher purpose, but now we need somebody else to take over the announcer. So he said, Murphy, go. But Samoa Joe like, nah, I ain't having that. You not about to come over here and mess with Tom Phillips. And Samoa Joe got in Samoa Joe mode, which makes me really miss Samoa Joe in the ring. It makes me really, really miss Samoa Joe in the ring. And he says, yo, man, because I'll come over here and then I'm gonna mess your mans up. And then I said that I'm gonna come and do this. And Seth was just like, yo, you really don't want to do this, Joe? He said, no, yeah, I want to. So he's about to get in the ring and fight Rollins and Murphy, who both got chairs. But then Dominic comes out of nowhere with the kendo stick, beats down Seth Rollins, beats down Murphy. Seth Rollins takes a kendo stick from Dominic, and he swings. Dominic ducks. He hits Murphy. Dominic hits Seth Rollins to the ropes, gives him a 619 from the left, then gives both of them a top rope splash. So then now Seth Rollins' pitch says, you want a match at SummerSlam? If this is what you want, then we're going to have a match at SummerSlam. So it's going to be Dominic and Seth Rollins, which I predicted months ago. Like I said, I wanted Mysterio versus Rollins, but we got that at Extreme Rules, so obviously you're saving the bigger match for SummerSlam. I want to know how Dominic's going to do. I'm going to be honest with you. I want to know how he's going to do, but he got some moves, but I'm just saying, but his selling and can he string together a match, stuff like that. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. We are backstage and we see that the Hurt Business walking with all their white suits on besides Lashley, and then he says, look, man, we got a conspiracy going on, like why all the ninjas was jumping us when Shelton Benjamin tried to defend his championship, why in the world when all that stuff's supposed to be suspended, why all the lights are flickering and stuff like that. And then he said, well, Shane McMahon's here debuting the Raw Underground. He said, why is Raw Underground so important when we having problems? He said, let's take a visit to Raw Underground. So at the end, MVP Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley come in and talk about took the microphone from Shane McMahon saying, look, we taking over. Y'all said y'all want a fight? Well, we about to give you a fight. Bobby Lashley comes in there, just drops some guys, punches them, and everything. They obviously it's staged. Then he says, if he said, I want to get into the fight too. He takes him over like a judo takedown, starts giving him the forearms and stuff like that. Shelton Benjamin gets into the fight and everything. Shelton Benjamin legit. And Shelton Benjamin gets up in the ring, and then all of a sudden Dio Madden comes up. The guy with the locks is Dio Madden. He came back because we ain't see Dio Madden since he got F5 through the tail by Brock Lesnar, but he's there and got taken down by Brock Lesnar's best friend. So there you have it. So, and Shane's just like, look, hey man, anything goes, and they beating him down. But then he takes the microphone and says the Hurt Business is here and business is blooming. So this is the official debut of the Hurt Business, because before they said it was the Hurt Business, and I know they was teasing Nation of Domination, but the way the climate is right now, that's not the way you want to go, to be honest with you. So now it's official. We are the Hurt Business. I don't know who else is going to be joining. Or it's just going to be a 3-person faction, whatever the case may be. But I'm feeling it, and that was Raw tonight. So in my opinion, Raw gets a passing grade. Raw gets a passing grade. I enjoyed Raw tonight more than a lot of Mondays. You know what I'm saying? I really just enjoyed just sitting back and then watching Raw. But how did you guys feel about Raw? Post out in the comments down below if you guys enjoyed Monday Night Raw. Hit the like button because that really helps the video out. It really gets us back to where we were. So please hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button for more WWE content, Monday Night Raw, and Friday Night SmackDown reviews right here on Nerd Coalition. So once again, this is NCN Place to Be. Chelsea Mr. A&D. And the Nerd Coalition is out.